Well, good morning, everyone. How are you all today? I just noticed my camera's all tipped over. So I wanted to thank you all for being here. And again, please, we want this to be a conversation, so feel free to put your questions in the chat box.
Yes.
I'm going to thank Reverend Sheila for joining me this morning. It is Sunday morning, so welcome, everyone. We wanted to continue the discussion. We really got into a really nice discussion last week after Sheila talked about her health situation, and I'm so happy to see that she's looking better and sounding better, and we're on the mend. So, yeah, good morning, Steph. So we're going to talk this morning. I really wanted to, we have this question a lot. A lot of folks ask what many of these ideas are around spirituality. They hear these phrases, but they're not quite sure what it means. So Sheila, this morning I wanted to really start with, what is enlightenment? What is it to be enlightened or to be part of this enlightenment period?
Hi, Melissa. Hi, everybody. Well, that's a big question, enlightenment. But you hear people talk about light workers. What does that mean? It is part of us actually coming alive to this higher frequency. That's really is who we really all about, who we are all about, and who we really are. Exactly, we are spiritual beings with a higher frequency within our DNA. So, I love the DNA. That's my specialty, and I am a metaphysical minister and I have a degree in metaphysics. So, it's all about frequency. And a lot of people say, enlightenment. What does that mean? Does that help a little bit? And then we can add upon that. So the enlightenment period. So a lot of people. Do you want me to keep going or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
because the enlightenment, like this phrase, I feel like really has come out in maybe the last 20 years or so. And so I know that there's been a lot going on in the past 20, 25 years that's really changed everything. And so if you can kind of maybe explain some of that to our audience, to help those who are really struggling with, okay, I feel something's different, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's awesome. And I would absolutely love to. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. And also, this is part of the teaching that I do, but I love it because it's so much part of me and helping other people understand what this means. Enlightenment period, ascension. What does that mean? So we're going to go back a little bit, and when you talk about 25 to 30 years, all right, many of this stuff happens back in the 80s. And so when we talk about the harmonic convergence, all right, we're talking about 1987, and that's actually referred to as 11/11 date. And a lot of people say, what does that mean? Well, that's the start of this alignment, all right. And what happened was that there was actually a global meditation. It was August 16th and 17th of 1987 that we actually started giving permission to be part of this enlightenment, to start changing our frequencies in our body. Now, a lot of people say, what are you talking about with that? Well, 2003 was another meditation, all right? And this is called the harmonic concordance, all right? So the first one, 1987, is harmonic convergence, where we started converting our frequency of our DNA to a higher frequency and to start to be enlightened. So what happened in 2003, November 8th and 9th of 2003, is when we actually gave permission to actually start going into this enlightenment period. And what does that mean by the enlightenment? All right, so there's a lot of information about that. But basically it has to do with our DNA, our frequency of our DNA. All right. And that's what I love about explaining in the Lemurian Sisterhood, which I'm also global host for that. And this enlightenment is about the merging of their energy with the feminine and the masculine, actually balancing it out. And how that is with our DNA, actually how we feel inside us. So a lot of us are starting to change since way back then. And now what's happened since 2012, what happened was, this is all about energy, right? All about energy, all right? And what happened was in 2012, we had actually a galactic alignment with the actual Earth that actually changed the tilting and the frequency of how this energy comes in. So we call it the wobble of the Earth. And what actually happened was that all the actual planets in our galaxy actually lined up, which caused this frequency. And the coolest thing with that is that it really helped with this enlightenment period or this ascension period. Now our DNA has started to really work to our full capacity of the 24th chromosome or 24th DNA. And that's what is about energy work. It picks up on how our body responds to this energy, how we can start to heal, tap into our divineness and heal. And also another thing about this galactic alignment, it has to do with the crystalline grid. In other words, the frequency in the earth. And this is really cool, the cave of creation, which is part in connection with your Akashic lifetimes. So when people talk about other lifetimes, they're talking about the connection on all these lifetimes in this energy frequency. And a lot of people are starting to remember this. And that's because that 24th chromosome is starting to waken up and remember. That's the whole key. Isn't that cool?
No, it's really cool. So how does that affect us physically? Because we really are still living in the 3D. We still are very human. So when we're having all of this DNA realignment, it's got to affect us physically because we are physical beings. So
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to last week when we talked about what I've been going through. A lot of people call it, ascension symptoms and the things that we're actually feeling. Well, it's true. We like to categorize it in 3D as symptoms, things that are physically happening to us. But what is actually happening is that our DNA is rising to this higher frequency, which we have the ability to do because we're multidimensional spiritual beings. And what I like about the energy work is that it's opening up the energy potential as a soul. Why are you here? And that's what my practice is about helping you find your purpose. Why are you here? So it is about the frequency in the cells. So your body is trying to change to this higher frequency. And so we are physical beings, right? So
yeah.
We have actual things that start to happen in us. For me, it's been ongoing. And if you think about it, everybody that's out there can start thinking of all the things that are happening to us. And then it's our response to this frequency. All right? So energy work helps you have more balance. How about getting in touch with that frequency? And remember, it's about your innate. And innate, that's part of the galactic alignment too. Your innate is your intelligence as a soul. All right? It remembers. All right? And so energy work helps you get back in contact with your innate intelligence. In other words, your soul. And it helps you start to balance things out. And also with IET, of course, that has to do with things that are out of balance. Unity field has to do with things that are more of a higher frequency, the galactic. Those other lifetimes, heal those, and then also heal stuff in this lifetime that's still affecting you. So it affects us a lot. The actual symptoms and things physically in our cells are changing. And we are responding. Our bodies are responding to that. And sometimes I don't like it. All right? But it is a reboot, all right? We are actually evolving. And that's why I always talk about transformation and evolving. My coin saying is release, heal, and evolve, all right? So you release what no longer serves you, all right? You heal the things that are stopping you from your obstacles, things that's like, why is this happening to me? And then when you start releasing those things, then you can evolve. In other words, you can actually transform into the spiritual being who you really are.
So I just want to help folks out. So these physical ascension symptoms, I know for myself, I've had the vibrating in the root chakra. I know we've talked to other people who have had tingling, they've had ear ringing, they've had headaches, they've had stomach aches, they've had body aches, and I actually worked with one woman whose whole body was vibrating, and she actually had many MRIs and did all the testing, and there was nothing physically wrong with her, but it scared her because she was not on a spiritual path and didn't know what was going on with her. So once we had those conversations and I was able to help her recognize that she wasn't sick, number one, and crazy, number two. This was real. This was something that she was transforming, and that she was evolving, like you said. So yeah, so for many of you out there, you know, if you're experiencing these things, this is why. And I think for this energy right now, because even myself, like you, Sheila, have had these health situations knowing this is part of your ascension process. For me, I've been feeling out of sorts and had an ongoing headache for a while. And I thought, okay, here we go again.
Yep. Yeah, here we go again. But you know what? Let's change that around and say, oh, isn't this wonderful? This is positive. Oh, I can feel it happening. That's what I always say. But the key is just relax and be and trust the process. You know, a lot of people say, what do you mean by that? You know, well, it's about, going with inner, it's all about the love and the energy that we have and who we really are, and yes, it's overwhelming. Believe me, I know the physical symptoms are overwhelming, but once you understand what is happening, I think it helps you trust, but also let you just be in the energy.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think that because one of the ways that I was able to help my person was to really get into those traumas and dramas and really recognize that it was her emotional trauma and her the physical hurt that she was holding on to, but it was also the drama of the stories she was telling herself of how bad she was, of what a bad person she was, and why she was telling herself those stories. So, that's what I think that is really important for everyone to understand, is that every one of your bodies, not just your physical body, but your emotional body, your spiritual body, your mental body, they all work together. And when one is out of balance, they're all out of balance. And I think that's what I've been loving about really stepping into the integrative energy therapy modality, because I've been able to help people recalibrate and balance themselves. And for some, it's been very transformative because they've never been this balanced.
Exactly. And then when you talk about balance, it's about the frequency. So there we go back into the transformational part about the frequency of who we are. And I loved it, Melissa, how you brought up about, things that are happening on those 4 different levels of your body. So everything you've experienced is energy, whether it's in the other lifetime or whether it's in this lifetime. And of course, now we have to deal with this lifetime. So that's where the profound physical stuff is happening to us. But the awakening is realizing, that things got to change. And now, energy work helps you be able to go into those different layers, those 4 different layers. And there's many, many other layers too. But also, many, many, many layers out there. But it's good because it helps you. Okay, I have some tools. I have some spiritual tools. It's like that kid's tool that you take, the things that we learn. Okay, so I can learn more about myself. But this is a very transformational time. The duality of the earth, the light and the dark. All right, so when we talk about being light workers, it's sending the love out there, but also recognizing that we are all going through this transformation. All right, and the best thing that you can do to help with your own cellular transformation is be love, send love, come from love, and then also, just be, and that's also part of the synchronicity as far as you're evolving. And then as you're just be, that consciousness field will actually bring you the people that you need to help you on your transformation. And that's what energy healers are out there, is that now the consciousness field is differently, and that we are being called upon to stand up and also be there for people. And people are they're started, all of a sudden they remember hearing a name. I remember one gentleman, hadn't heard my name, in his sleep, and he didn't know who I was. And so he Googled me and found me. That's in the consciousness field. So people, when your soul, it's about the divine time and the right time, and your soul knows. And that's the frequency that's being sent out there now. So your obstacles and the things that are unbalanced will manifest or become more visible. I don't like to say manifest, but I like to say more visible in your life. And you say, oh, okay, then it's the choice. There goes the duality again. You can do this or you can do that. But it's about a choice. And it's about, that's what the harmonic convergence and concordance was all about. It's about opening up our free will and our choice to do different. That it all has to do with all this change that's been happening for 25, 30 years now.
Yeah, and really, one of the things that I've been really using in my practice is the emotional chart, because what that does is that shows you what the vibrational frequencies are and where you might fall on that vibrational frequency. So when you were talking about things coming to you or manifesting it, that's really what it's about. It's about raising your vibrational frequency. And so if you're playing down here in the trauma and the drama and the fear and the discouragement and the anger and the resentment and the jealousy and the insecurity, that's what you're going to draw more of. So
And
what
your
this
ego.
yeah,
But
all that fear.
but the negative ego, not the positive ego. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's really where I think what we're talking about with the DNA recalibration, it's giving you the momentum to start now coming up into those higher vibrational frequencies that are the hopefulness, the optimism, the positive expectation, joy, and love and gratitude. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Gratitude. Yeah, absolutely. I talk about that all the time, in that, if you really need to jumpstart raising your vibration, get into gratitude. Start a gratitude practice, because that is what is going to jumpstart you up that vibrational frequency chart, even if you don't understand it, even if you don't know why it's working. Who cares? It's working.
Oh my God, I love that. I absolutely love that. And when people talk about recalibration, and they hear that word, and they said the ascension, my cells I'm being recalibrated, for this ascension process. That's exactly what the cells are doing. It's trying to get in touch with that frequency. So it's awesome. Can everybody see us?
They can. So we've got
any questions.
No, not questions yet, but I'm going to say that we're going to say good morning to Steph. We're going to say morning to Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Hey, girls. And we're going to say hi to Serena. And good morning, Marie Annette. And then Serena, thank you for kind of joining the conversation, because she said, I too had an MRI because of the vibrations that ran through my spine to the top of my head. And honestly, Serena, I actually want to piggyback on that, because what I'm going to be doing for my intuitive guidance course that I'm putting out on June 2nd is I'm actually going to be talking about the Kundalini energy and the breathing technique that you can use to really jumpstart that energy, because what you're doing is you're actually activating your sympathetic nervous system up to your pineal gland, and that is your connection to source biologically. So you did have something biologically going on. It just wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So I would say do some breathing, honey. Do some Kundalini breathing. That will absolutely help with settling all of those vibrations down and helping your ascension or awakening process to continue.
Absolutely. I love it.
Good morning, Leona. Welcome.
Hi, Leona. Are you back? Are you back home in New Jersey? Yes? No?
I think she... I'll let you know as soon as she... good morning, Cara. Good morning. So everything is all connected, and I love this. So I'm going to be honest with you. This is my personal question, Sheila. I really want to know more about Unity Field Healing, because I'm so enamored with Dr. John Ryan. I have his book, and I love the way that he very simply but very well explains this in a way that everyone can understand.
Absolutely, I would love to. So a lot of people, some people are probably new to this. Some people don't know who Dr. John Ryan is. So he's my soul brother. He's also on the Cryon team family with me. He has been part of the Cryon team for about 16, 17 years now, as far as hosting Cryon, different events all over the world. So Dr. Ryan is a medical doctor outside of Ottawa, Canada. And what has happened is that through our ascension, us actually changing and evolving to do our soul's purpose, what has happened is that he has been able to develop this energy healing called Unity Field Healing. Now, this was actually transmitted into him through meditation, through his own evolvement. And Unity Field is about the bio-spiritual connection with us as souls now that we're in this higher frequency. And I am a practitioner. I'm the second one in America to be trained by him, and I absolutely love it. And he is coming to Rochester. I'm hosting him here in Rochester in October to be able to be a practitioner if you choose. Unity field healing is about your actual wounds from your Akash. In other words, all your other lifetimes. And Unity field is done with 3 different sessions. You can do it. He does have an audio version where you can actually listen to it. It's like a meditation. Those were developed about 4 or 5 years ago or earlier, before he really started this training. Now you can also have, of course, in-person healing, exactly what I do. And what it does is that the first session deals with your actual alignment of your DNA. So in other words, really coming in contact with that 24th chromosome. All right, opening it up. The second, and when that happens, your body responds because it's been waiting. It's been waiting. Just like whenever we do any energy work, especially with Unity with IET, is that we're opening up the DNA. All right, and it stays, and the DNA is recalibrated and changed. What Unity Field does is that it connects in alignment to the 24th chromosome in the very first session. The second session, it deals with the actual template. In other words, part of your DNA from your connection to the stars, your galactic connection, all right? The template of the energy, how the frequency is brought through the 24th chromosome, which all humans have is the 24th chromosome. And that is the galactic connection, all right? So that template, which if you see it, it's right there on my wall there behind me, all right? It's over here on this, all right? That template actually symbolizes your DNA, the 24th chromosome, the frequency of that DNA. Then what the third session does is actually connects with your Akashic other lifetimes, all right? Or it's called intentional healing. You intentionally want to heal something specific, It's awesome. And I absolutely love that, especially with the IET stuff. So a lot of people, they know they have fear, just like you knew you had powerlessness when you first did the first IET, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? I've been doing all this work. Well, also, you actually intentionally work on this powerlessness. Like, okay, I get it. Then you also have choices, whether you want to follow through with that. Okay, I'm not powerless. What can I do? And those are things where your DNA gets changed. Unity Field Healing is about the 24th chromosome, about the bio-spiritual transformation. So remember, transformation, bio-spiritual. Biologically, your cells, your body is transforming. It's also remembering. So Unity Field is awesome. I love it. It's very much part of my practice. All right, Unity Field Healing.
Yes, I know it is. And so I'm very, very interested in it. I really am. So I just wanted to catch up with us. So Amy Schreiner is here. Hey, Amy. Leona did say, I'm in New Jersey and start working my new job next week. Yay! Awesome. Good stuff.
That's a lot of recalibration for you happening in your life. Yes. And I'm not going to go into that right now, but a lot of us know. It's like when you get it, you understand why things are happening in your life. It's like, especially in relationships or job situations. That's why I love to see the sparkle in somebody's eyes when they finally get it. That they have the power, all right? They actually have the choice in that power to do different and to face those obstacles and those life challenges, And Leona, yay! Awesome. So we all can do that.
Yeah.
We can all
feel this higher
frequency.
And I really wish I had understood that, 10-15 years ago. Well, because I kept making the same choices and falling on my face over and over again, not recognizing that taking the different road, which was scary and going to be harder, was the right road.
Remember The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck? That was, 30 years ago. And it's like, I was so started to awaken that time and doing journaling. It's like Road Less Channel. It's like, it's all about choices. It's like, it's not serving me anymore. Now think about that. We were in that. That was the old energy. That's the stuff that, and Wayne Dyer,
Yeah.
Being in the shift, shift your life. I love it. I love all the connection. It's like it making sense if you look back at your life, and now you have the choices, you have the power, and understanding it.
Yeah. And this I think this is why this quote has resonated with so so many people for so long. But when Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love our forerunners, the people that came and gave us these tools, and also the start with this alignment, starting with the actual change of us as humanity. Humanity is changing profoundly, and we do say, it's a bumpy road, a lot of things are changing. And what the best thing that we can do moving forward is to send love and compassion out to everybody. And I've always said love is the higher frequency. You have two choices, love or fear, and most people are in the fear. And that's why we're so needed right now. So if you're dealing with fear on a daily basis and, how do I change? Go to your heart center. It's all about heart-centered love. And that's what my practice is about and who I am. But I've learned this. It's all about the heart. It's all about inside. And it's about the love that you are and the love that you give out. So when you experience these changes in your environment, it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And sometimes there's nothing that you can do, but you can send the frequency of love. Love is energy, and everything's in the consciousness field, in the energy field around you, and you can make a difference. You really can.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why I'm really excited as we move forward the rest of this year with everything that you're stepping into that's new and exciting, and everything that I'm being brought to bring. And that's, I said it this morning, I'm being stretched and pulled out of my comfort zone yet again.
Exactly. And that, there we go. Sorry. Still a little coughing going on here. And also the pounds don't help either. Yeah, we're all being stretched and challenged and changed, and we can do it fightingly or we can do that willingly, and it's an easier, softer way. Just be.
Just lean in. That's what I say. I just say lean into it. It's
yeah, just let it be, and all this stuff that we've talked about is actually on my new website. That's the new and challenging things for me. I have a new website that's finally out there. You can actually find out about the harmonic convergence and concordance and precession equinox and alignment, all the stuff I've talked about on my Facebook, my website, Sheila Tillich-Lemurian Sisterhood. On the bottom, I have questions and answers, all right? And it's all part of the crying stuff. It's all part of this new frequency that we're in. So go there. Okay.
Leona says, I am excited. The universe kicked my butt, so a change was made, then supported me to find this job. Yay, that's how that works. It allowed me to spend more important events with my family that I would not have been able to do. I am grateful. Oh my God, Leona, I'm so glad that worked out so well for you. Like it worked out even better than we thought it would. So that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, honey. I'm so excited for it.
Blessing, Leona. And I'm so honored to know you and meet you about 2 years ago, which is awesome. I love you very much, sister. What a wonderful earth angel you are. So more things are coming. Yay!
Yes, and that's what happens. Like Leona, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but I know that there was a little bit of a kicking and screaming as things were changing for her. She was really having a very difficult time with it, but she was able to lean into it, know that things were going to be better, and they were even better than we thought. So that's yay! Yay!
Yep.
She says, love to you all too. So I'm very, very excited things worked out that well. That is profound. That is profound. That is so exciting.
Yep, absolutely.
So exciting.
So who else is on the team?
Amy is joining the conversation with Leona. So she's supporting Leona also.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Leona. She said I can share anything.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I think that that's what this is all about. Like, how do we step out of the fear? How do we step into your word, magnificence? Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to shine our light. We're here to be the light worker, and it is work. It is very, very difficult. And I love that you bring these beautiful healing modalities that help people feel lighter, more buoyant, so that they can make the decisions that they need to make. And I'm really excited to be able to bring these classes to people to help them to know why they're going through what they're going through and how to make that connection to spirit, because that's what the intuitive guidance course at the end of the day is all about, making your connection to spirit. How do you feel the love, the universal love that is on right here for us if we can just tune in, tap in, turn on to that connection. And it really is about dropping into our heart and really letting go of that fear-based ego that Eckhart Tolle talks about. And we're going to talk about that in this course. And I'm going to give you some tools that you can add to your toolbox that you're going to take with you, that you can practice. Because again, this is a very, very solitary journey in that nobody's going to be at the place that you're at in your life experience at this time. So I will give you the information, I will give you the tools, and then it is going to be up to you to take them and utilize them in the way that's going to work for you. And if you need the healing, if you need the help, and I had that hurdle I had to overcome. I couldn't get over it myself. And that's where Sheila came in. And so I would absolutely invite you all, if you are feeling like you need any kind of help over a hurdle, any kind of help energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, please reach out. That is why we're here. That is why we do what we do. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. We love everybody out there. Heart-centered is about what it's all about. Just come from love.
Yes.
Come from your heart.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you all soon.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.